I know I had class yesterday. It
but
took
I'm
me
just
all
before
year to get there.
let me go ahead and get this started here. I'm going to share the screen. All right, so there it is. I can make this bigger. All right, cool. So to be a quick presentation, I'm not going to be going through all of this. I just want to cover two parts of this thing, and we'll get our day started. Today's what, Wednesday the 20th? All right, cool. So I've talked about this many times about this whole 80% psychology, 20% strategies. This is how it works. This it really is. I see people that get into this industry with real estate, or say with any type of industry, and they just go in there not really knowing much about strategies, but they just have this psychology of just wanting to get it done and work, and they just kill it. Because along the way, as they're working, getting experience, they're learning the strategies that work and don't work. There's an interesting story that I heard from Tony Robbins um, uh, about this general. So this general, when he was just an officer starting off in the military, he was an assistant to a general. And this at that time they were trying to decide where to move the new headquarters for that military branch. And it was his job as a new officer to do all the research, to collect all the information, do all the research, look at all the data. It was between two locations. And then so they have to, if they're going to choose to move a headquarters, they have to like strategically make the decision, right? And this guy, he said that there was like literally like hours and hours and hours and hours of documentation and research to do. And what was interesting is that when it was time to make the decision, he briefed his general on the information, but he only briefed him for like maybe like 15, 20 minutes. On like, this is on both these two different locations. And the general was like, okay, we're gonna go here. And he was just blown away by his decision. And at one point he asked his general, hey, like, can I speak freely? So yeah, go ahead. It's like, there's literally hours and hours of data to like just to go over to just make a decision on where to move our headquarters. And I just gave you like a 15, 20-minute brief on the information that I knew. And you just made the decision. How were you able to do that? And he looked at him and he said, look, we could have done research for another 6, 7, 8 months, even a year, and maybe not be able to make the best decision possible. The way you actually figure out if it's a good decision or not is just that you make a decision, go with it, and you'll find out if it's the right decision or not faster than having to do research and research and research because you're going through the experience already. Experience trumps knowledge 100%. Experience will always win. People who have the psychology to succeed, they're just going to go out there and do whatever they think might work. And if it doesn't work, they'll find out faster if it works or not. Then, learning all the strategies there is out there, analyzing every single strategy there is and seeing what works and not really knowing what works and doesn't work until it gets applied. This is why people who have the psychology succeed more than people who know everything that there is to do when it comes down to getting things done. This is why I focus so much on the psychology part of it. If it's 80%, if your success is 80% dependent on your psychology, then shouldn't we focus more on this? Strategies are great. We're going to work on strategies. We talk about strategies and all this stuff. And and you need to have them, of course. But it's only 20% of your success. 80% is right here. This is why I focus so much on this. I've met many people who know all the strategies, everything they need to do, and they don't get it done. And then you meet the people who have the psychology of success, know very little strategies, and they just kill it. This is, and I really want to emphasize on this with you guys because it is very important to focus on the psychology more, in my opinion. And this is one big difference between us and other brokerages. All these other brokerages focus on strategies, strategies, strategies. And what's interesting is this, is when the market gets difficult or tough or interest rates go really high, there's less buyers. And there's all these people who know a ton of strategies and they're masters at these strategies, but have a weak psychology. Those are the people who struggle, just to let you know. They struggle significantly. They don't do well when the market isn't in their favor. Okay. We talked about how the market goes, it expands and then it peaks and then go through a little recession and then it bottoms and it expands again. Okay. And so when this happens, when you're going through this recession part of it, right? When you're going down here, this market, all these realtors quit. They're the realtors who do not have the psychology. Those are the ones who are quitting. Those who stick through, they have a strong psychology and get through it. If just to let you know, 2023 was one of these years. That's how it was. It actually started back in May, June of 2022. That's when this kind of started. We peaked with low interest rates and then we started going down. I've talked about this already, of course, but I want to connect it to this because it is connected to this, okay? Because everybody who quit during this time didn't have the psychology, all right? And those who had the psychology, they were just killing it during this time. Why? Because they understood that all they really need to do is adjust their strategies to make it happen. Everybody who's succeeding during this time only knew one strategy. They didn't know, hey, if I just adjust my strategy, I can still be successful in a market that does this. And that's exactly what happened to a lot of people. They didn't know, they quit. And those who did know, they succeeded. We got through it. So what's going to be great is that we're at the bottom now, where interest rates were at the highest. Now we're going to capitalize on as interest rates go down and the market goes back up. And I'm excited, and you guys should be as well, because we're positioned very well. This is why I focus on the psychology, because I need to keep you guys with the right mindset. All right, so let's continue here. I just want to talk a little bit about the mind. I've talked about the mind many times, but I want to kind of just go through a review here. We have talked about what we've been gifted by divine consciousness, which is the power to create, and we've also been gifted with free will. Okay, we all have the power to create. You can create whatever you guys want to create. You really, really can. Okay, you have the power to do so. The only thing that keeps you from creating what you really want, and I'll get into it, is these limiting beliefs that you have programmed in your subconscious. That's what keeps you from creating what you want to create. Okay, but the power to create is within us, right? And the free will, you can create whatever you want with it. We're not like animals who live off of their instincts. We go beyond that, right? And we're designed this way purposely, of course. Now, again, the mind is created into two parts. There's two parts to our mind. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, okay? The conscious mind pretty much makes up about 10% of your reality, okay? 10%. And the subconscious mind makes up about 90% of your reality. So pretty much what we really need to focus on changing more than anything is the programming within the subconscious mind, right? And I talk about this a lot. But on the conscious mind is still very necessary, of course, and we use it all the time. We're using it right now. You have willpower, short-term memory, logical thinking, and critical thinking is all within the conscious mind. But the subconscious mind, you have beliefs, you have emotions, you have habits, good habits and bad habits, right? We have values, we have protective reactions when someone tries to attack you physically. The protective reaction comes from the subconscious level. You're not consciously thinking, should I protect myself or should I not protect myself in this situation? This person's coming at me with the knife or coming to attack me or coming to attack my family. Should I protect them? Should I not? You're not going through any like logical thinking in that moment. You're gonna react. And it's called a protective reaction. Even when people attack you verbally, that you're going through a protective reaction. the verbal attacks, right? Now, verbal attacks, this is where you want to really be more tactful. This is where, when it's a verbal attack, you want to be more logical. Is it really worth your time? You can just walk away. Who cares? People don't like, who cares if they have opinions about you, right? But our ego kicks in and we have these protective reactions. Long-term memory, right? We have a lot of memory stored in our subconscious. I mean, a ton. Think about all the information for instance. Think about all the memories you have of experiences that you've had in the past, right? How far back do these memories go, right? It's a ton of information. Long-term memory, imagination, and then intuition. So these beliefs fabricate almost all of your reality, okay? Almost all of your reality is actually dictated by the subconscious mind, okay? So if you're going to change your life, you want to really change what you believe at a subconscious level because it creates 90% of your reality. So this is why I've been focusing so much on reprogramming you guys, right? Brainwashing you guys, but with good information. This is why I tell you, expose yourself with information that serves you, that helps you, okay? So we talked about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. And so let me get to another section here that I'm going to spend some good amount of time with. We'll go through this really quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's talk about the programming your subconscious mind and what type of things have assisted in your programming of the subconscious mind. So what molds our beliefs? The environment does. So what makes up the environment? So you have to understand that from ages 0 to 7, your mind was a sponge. You pick most of your behaviors, most of your fears, most of your habits, most of your stuff was kind of programmed during that time of your life. Okay, so if you grew up in a family that was, say, very dysfunctional, for lack of a better word, or had a lot of problems, say maybe financial problems, or maybe you saw your parents struggle a lot, or maybe fight a lot. I don't know, just as a couple of examples, or maybe you were in a school system, or the school system was in a very good school system, or maybe it's the exact opposite. Your parents had an incredible marriage, right? And you guys were always pretty much at very least well off, very balanced energies in the home, right? And just you were in a great school system, you listen and all this stuff. So all those things went into your programming during that time of your life. Everything beyond 7 years of age is programmed through repetition, 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 repetition. And I'll give you an example. Have you ever listened to a song that you just, first time you listened to it, you didn't like it? Well, this is a terrible song. Like, ugh, this is stupid. And you just, change the radio station or turn it off or whatever, right? Got it. And then you go to Starbucks and they're playing the song. And you go to the mall, they're playing the song. And you go to a restaurant, they're playing the song. You watch that movie and they're playing that song. And you watch that TV show and they're playing the song. And then one day the song comes on and you're like, you know something? This song's actually pretty good. You know what that's called? It's called brainwashing. They brainwash you into liking the song, okay? It's happened to all of us, all right? I don't like being a victim of music anymore. I hate it. And so therefore, I control what type of information I expose myself to. But let's talk about the environment really quick to get an idea of what type of things influence our beliefs. So there's family and friends. People you hang out with and spend time with affect your belief system, especially if you hang out with them quite often. Like most of my family is in California. I rarely ever see them, okay? Rarely. When I do, it's probably once a year. Maybe I see them twice a year. So the truth is, when I spend time with them, they don't have much of an influence on me, especially on my subconscious, because I don't see them quite often. But if they're people you actually live with or see them often, they do have an influence on you, okay? There's some family members that support you and love you, some family members that are jealous of you, want to bring you down. And so therefore, they are the type of people you want to stay away from. I know that my mom supports me, so my wife and I, we let my mom know of like certain endeavors that we're getting into, so she can pray for us, which is great. But we don't tell everybody else, right? And it's not because we don't think that they support us, it's just we're not 100% sure if they do or don't. Okay, so that's why we just kind of like keep our most of our goals and the things that we're doing, we just keep it to ourselves. And I think you should as well, personally, because most people out there, friends and family, they're not really there to support you. Most of them, they're not necessarily trying to bring you down. They want you to be secure and like take the safe road. But starting your own business isn't the safe road. The safe road is to getting a job or being an employee. But the reality of the situation, being an employee isn't the safe road because a job isn't 100% secure, right? And if you're 100% dependent on a job and it goes away, there goes your only income, right? But when you're a business owner, you build a business, you get it going, you get it moving on its own, making you money, and then what do? You can build another business and another business and another business. Say you have 5 businesses, you have 5 streams of income. Who's more secure? The person with five businesses with 5 streams of income, or the person with that one job? We know the answer, right? So many times what your family members want you to do is they just kind of want to have you take the safe road because they don't want they don't want to see you fail because they don't want you to fail because it hurts them to see you fail. So that's sometimes it comes from love, but it still discourages you, right? Because what you really want is support what you're doing. And so therefore choose whom you hang out with very wisely. Don't just spend time with anybody, okay? Music, we talked about music, right? So the reason I say music, because if you listen to a lot of this music, a lot of this music is it's about heartbreak, getting drunk, promiscuity, drugs, alcohol, clubbing, partying. It's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't really serve you. And I understand that you're just really listening to the music just for like the beat, stuff like that, just to dance to. You're not really listening to the lyrics itself because you don't really care. But I'm going to tell you right now, even though you're not consciously listening to the lyrics, subconsciously your mind is taking in that information. Okay. And this is why you have to be very careful with the music you listen to. I used to listen to a lot of like just a lot of like music that was kind of like rough and like aggressive when I was younger. Right? And I don't listen to that stuff anymore. All the music I listen to right now has no lyrics. Rarely do I listen to music that has lyrics. And most of it's just mostly instrumental or classical or whatever because I'm aware of it. You know, I'm aware of this, and I don't want to be subconsciously programmed by the music because it does actually, okay? Especially if you listen to like there's people who listen to like hardcore gangster stuff about like drugs and alcohol and gang banging and rape and all this crazy stuff. I listened to that some of that stuff before. It's pretty freaking intense, bro. And imagine listening to that stuff all the time and what type of programming it gives you. And if you really look at the environments where like you have everybody who listens to music like this and look at those environments and how they are, those environments tend to be very violent. They tend to be. Maybe some are not. But I grew up in Los Angeles. I've seen some of these places, and it is. It gets pretty scary. And music has such a great influence on this. So music, you have movies and TV shows and that you watch. Absolutely, there's so many subliminal messages in here, especially when you're watching horror movies. You want to stay away from that stuff because you start vibrating in that fear mode, and it does not serve you, people. Like it does not. If you start feeling the emotion of fear, right, and then you're putting out these vibes around you, and you understand how this your magnetic field is attracting things to support those same emotions. Do you really want to be in a state of fear? I haven't watched a horror movie for like probably over 10 years. And if you do like them, I get it, because the adrenaline and all that stuff, but it doesn't serve you, I mean, at all. Especially like The Exorcist. I remember watching that when I was in high school. Bro, that shit was traumatizing. I cannot ever watch it again. And I never would. So just a couple of things about that because it does affect you. News, of course. I say stop watching the news. Half of it is, or more than half of it is just opinion, and the other half is just fake anyways. So Stay away from it. If you're gonna watch, if you're gonna you find the most reliable news source for yourself, and then you can get news from there. But don't watch TV news or the mass media type of news because it's it's all scripted. Marketing, that's another big one. Why do you buy certain products that you purchase? Are they the best products? Are they the most affordable products? Are they the best quality products? You know, marketing doesn't market you the best products. They're just trying to make money off of you. They want you to buy their products, not because they're the best products, because they want to make money off of you. So pay attention to marketing. There's a lot of programming going on there, okay? Social media, that's a big one, right? There's a lot of programming going on in social media as well. You want to limit the amount of time you're on there, unless you're posting and doing stuff like that. But if you're just on there, scrolling, just going through videos and pictures, then you want to reduce that. Your work environments, the people you speak to work. So this is our work environment right here, right? A lot of great information, a lot of supportive information to assist you in your growth and your development. That's great. But I was in the military for 6 years. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people who complain and bitch about stuff, right? And to be around that all the time, I remember being in my shop. These guys were like just always just bitching, complaining. I would have to just walk out of there, okay, to get away from that energy because it was super dense, and I didn't want to get caught up with their energy, with their conversations, and I needed to really escape it in order to just not be influenced by it because I understood at that time that it's just you get caught up with it. They're complaining about something, then you start chiming in about complaining about other stuff, and now you guys are all complaining about a bunch of stuff that doesn't serve you, right? So next one, you have schools, of course, especially schools really have a strong influence on you. Um, your professors, your teachers, the students you spend time with, there's an environment there, right? And so they really, really do. I know, I'm not sure if you know who Grant Cardone is. He's just a very successful guy that's in real estate. Um, he said, when my kids were in school, they were always depressed. And then the second I got them out of school and got them into homeschooling, they're happy. It's like the reason they were depressed is because they're all around all their friends who were always complaining and they were always like upset about something, and they were just caught up with that energy, and they would come home and they feel the same way. I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's true, man. Like I didn't even think about that, but that's what he was talking about. Just a video I just saw the other day that he was talking about that. I thought it was really interesting. But the second he put his kids on homeschooling, they're happy and vibrant and all this stuff, and it was because of the environment in school. And of course, where you grow up, where you grow up has a significant influence on your life, right? If you grew up in the United States, Mexico, South America, Europe, all very different cultures, very different cultures. So this has a significant influence on what you believe. All right, so I wanted to get through that pretty quickly. Let me, I need to get to this spot to end it with, which is this formula for success. It should be in here somewhere, hopefully. I guess it's not. Maybe I did pass it. Let me go a little slower. So if it's not here, I'll just get into the whiteboard and I could probably draw it. Yeah, it's probably not here. So let me do this really quick. Let me stop sharing. Let me get over here. Whiteboard. Boom. Because I have about 5 more minutes. All right. So boom. Here we go. So this is the formula for success, okay? Formula for success. So for the first things first with this formula, so if you want success, what you guys really need to do is these couple of things. One is going to take time, right? You're going to have to focus your time on success, right? And the time itself, how much time you're putting into your business, how much time you're putting into working on yourself, personal development, all of that. It takes energy, okay? all right? You know, if any time is energy, energy is time, but it's going to take energy from you to really focus on your business, focus on yourself to really establish the success that you really want to have, right? This right here, the time and energy are two, I think, two very basic things that you have to go through. You have to commit, right? You have to commit in your business and yourself in order to reap success, okay? In order to reap success, right? And think of it, this is where you are now, right? These are your current conditions. So you're in your current conditions here, and you want to get across over here to create your ideal conditions or to create results. Just call them results, the results that you want, right? So we have these two things. The other thing we need is we need I guess we need an opportunity, right? Opportunity to take advantage of. Opportunity. So an opportunity. So real estate is a great opportunity for anybody who wants to just start their own business, to make money and so forth and so on, right? To grow, to expand. This is your opportunity right here. So you need the time and energy that goes into the opportunity. As you face the opportunity, you're gonna most definitely face challenges. All right? You're gonna most definitely face challenges, and that's fine. Challenges are natural parts of life, so you're gonna have to face challenges. And I'm gonna just add it here. It will be difficult, all right? Difficult. And this is something I think most people don't emphasize on this, the difficulty, the struggle. These challenges will bring difficulties in your life, 100%. The opportunities will bring challenges. The challenges will bring difficulties in your life. The difficulties on your part really depend on if you're really prepared to do this, right? If you're really prepared um, if you're really prepared to just get into whatever opportunity you're getting into, such as real estate, putting in the time and energy is challenging, by the way, because if you have a family and everything, sometimes it's very challenging to put the time into your business. But most definitely, you will face challenges in these businesses, and it will make difficult times. It will create difficult times for you. But more than anything, you're going to develop the skills. So skills are going to be other things that you can add to this formula. But the skills you develop, they actually come from the challenges that you face. The challenges you face create difficulties. But what's interesting is that in order to solve these challenges, you have to develop new skills in order to succeed to overcome those challenges, to win, to grow, to expand, to make the money you're going to be making, to close those deals, whatever it is. Because, dude, that's what it takes. It takes the time, it takes the energy. You have to have an opportunity. With the opportunity, you're going to have challenges that you're going to be facing. Through those challenges, you are going to be struggling mentally to overcome those challenges, is because you need to learn new skills, right? Learning creates difficulties, but the challenges force us to learn. They really do. They force us to learn, which is, I love challenges. And the way you need to approach challenges is that you love challenges, you're excited for challenges, because on the other side of every challenge, there's a blessing waiting for you. Challenges are gifts, they're opportunities to grow. You're bigger than any challenge, you can handle any challenge. I say these naturally because these are affirmations that I've been saying for years now, you know? Challenges are gifts, are there opportunities to grow. I love challenges because on the other side of every challenge, there's an opportunity waiting for me. I get excited to face challenges. We're bigger than any challenge. You can handle any challenge. There's always a way. These are all affirmations that I say daily that surround themselves around challenges, because I don't want to become stressed when I face a challenge. I want to get excited to face a challenge, and then that changes how I approach my life, how I approach everything, how I approach business, is just to get excited when I face challenges, because challenges are there to assist you with your growth and your development. Okay. So this is pretty much the success formula. I recorded this